Hey everyone, Near Mint Nerd here, and we're getting a little strange today here on the I Got Issues channel as we do an unboxing video of the new Doctor Strange movie from Marvel. This just came in. I picked it up at Best Buy. You'll see that this is actually the tin set, the Best Buy exclusive set. I wasn't sure which one to get. I almost got the one that had the 3D version because I do have a 3D TV, and I do think this is a movie that presents really well in 3D. Unlike a lot of the movies that are just kind of thrown into 3D at the theater, I thought the 3D really augmented the experience for this movie. So I was really torn. But in the end, I was won over by the exclusive set, and that's what I bought. I'm sure I'll get the 3D one down the road, but for now, this will do me just fine. All right, so we're going to unbox this together, and then I'm going to take you over, and we're going to take a look at some Doctor Strange comics through history and have a little chat about the character of Doctor Strange in general, and his, his path through comic books and all his different titles and stuff. All right, so let's head on over. I'm going to pass this over to the Near Mint Nerd, and we'll get started. Here you go, bud. All right, thanks, nerd. I got that. Okay, so we're going to start by getting the wrapping off here. I do like the tins because, you know, I am in Canada, and our Blu-rays often have the French writing on them, and I don't really like that. So I like these tins because you get away from that. So this comes right off. I always take these off. It's on with a little bit of sticky glue on the, or a little bit of gummy or something on the back. You can see it here. Wow, this is a beautiful disc. Oh, last little bit of plastic there. We're gonna give that a read in a minute. There it is, beautiful disc. Look at that, really cool tin, kind of made up to look like an old book. There's the Eye of Agamotto on the front there. I really like this movie. I thought, really this movie was basically just Iron Man with a different coat of paint. He kind of followed the exact same hero's journey, starting with an injury that left him debilitated, and then using that to his advantage and forcing himself to play through it and come out the other side a stronger person. He also is very similar in attitude, whereas Tony Stark is just kind of a genius. Stephen Strange is a genius surgeon. So, I mean, it's quite similar. Anyways, let's crack this open here. All right, we can see inside. Now, you'll see there's a digital code here. Don't waste your time trying to get it. By the time this video is up, I'll already have... I always let my family members have these, so they will get this digital version before you. So I don't mind you seeing it here. Then you can see the inside of the case. There's like mystical writing and stuff. I like this. Like, I like that they kind of went the extra mile and gave us something to look at inside the box. Over here on this side, we have the Blu-ray disc. And if we pop that out, we have the standard Doctor Strange DVD. And if we pop that out, we have a lovely... I wonder if, you can decipher this. I wonder if there's some kind of, Marvel code or something that will allow you to figure out what this actually says. So, not a lot inside, no booklet. I would have loved to have a little booklet or something. Pretty plain Jane, but not bad. Not bad. Nice tin. At least there's a little art. Unlike the Suicide Squad DVD that was, unbelievably plain. This isn't so bad. All right, so we've got some nice stuff there. There we go. Got that. Close that up. Put that there for a minute. Yeah, so, like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was maybe a little too similar to Iron Man, but I thought the effects, it was really Iron Man meets Inception, right? Because a big part of the movie was that kind of world-bending stuff that they kind of did in the dream sequences in Inception. But it was all in 3D, and the 3D added such incredible dimensionality to it. Like when, a sequence when Doctor Strange is running down a hallway, and the hallway is extending, and he can't get to the end of it. When you put that in 3D, man, it just changes. Like, it just looks so amazing. You can actually see that hallway getting longer. Stuff like that. And when, like, the city starts folding in on itself, when you're there in 3D, it gives it a sense of vertigo that really kind of makes you, it pulls you into the story more. So, like I said, the 3D I thought was actually really well used in this movie, as opposed to some other 3D films that maybe just had it thrown in at the end as a bit of a cash grab. Let's see. So we got this here. Let's take a look at some of the extras that are on here. The Blu-ray extras. Let's see if I can get that in there. So there's Strange Transformation. Open your eyes to a new dimension of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and see how the filmmakers brought one of comic book's greatest characters to life. So it's basically a making of, probably showing you some of those effects I was just talking about. Strange Company. Find out what it's like for the cast to work on. So it's a little bit of, so it looks like talking to the director, talking to the cast. The Fabric of Reality. Take a closer look at the movie's extraordinary sets. Oh, that'd be fun. Just kind of seeing those Tibetan library and, the New York and the where was the other one? London or I can't even remember now. But some of the other home offices, so to speak, where Doctor Strange can use his dimensional doorway to get to. Cross time and space. Explore the countless hours of dance and fight choreography. That's it. These are pretty good extras. I would watch these extras. So that's nice to see that they have given you a bit of value on here. There is an audio commentary with Scott Derrickson. That could be fun. Some deleted scenes. A gag reel is always fun. Some nice art there. The score, Soror Supreme. Terrible pun, but probably a pretty fun little bonus watching them score the movie. Marvel Studios Phase 3 exclusive look. Get an early peek at Marvel's spectacular upcoming films, including Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Avengers Infinity War. So that's nice too, maybe get a little sneak peek. Probably nothing we haven't seen already on those, but a lot of fun. It looks like they went out of their way to really kind of ratchet up the extras to a good degree. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. Looking forward to seeing it again here in my own house. You can see the only at Best Buy exclusive seal there. Very exciting, very exciting. Okay, so now I want to just talk about some comics. Doctor Strange is a character that's been around since the 60s. So, he has quite a history in comics. In fact, his first comic appearance was in July of 1963 in Strange Tales number 110, which I'll show you here. I don't have any issues of the original Strange Tales. That's one series that has always sort of eluded me. So, I'll show you this picture instead. But then come on back. Hello, welcome back. And now I'm going to actually show you some comics that will kind of go through the history of Doctor Strange. So, like I said, Strange Tales number 110 was his first appearance. This is Marvel Premiere featuring Doctor Strange. This was kind of his second kick at the cat. And you should never kick cats. It's not a nice saying, not a nice thing to do. Just want to get that out there. Even though I'm allergic, I still don't want to see them get kicked. Come on. All right, so Marvel Premiere featuring Doctor Strange. They did a fairly long run of this. Marvel Premiere is kind of like a showcase character title. So there were other characters that were part of that. But then they did a nice long run of Doctor Strange here. And then he spun out into his own title for the first time here with Doctor Strange self-titled. Here's a nice issue, number 9. It was the 25-cent era. Here he is. Here's the villain for the movie, the Dread Dormammu. This is a nice book. After that, he had another Strange Tales. You'll remember that his first title was Strange Tales. Well, he did another Strange Tales, and this was a book where he shared with the characters of Cloak and Dagger, who are also coming to the Marvel television universe, I understand. There's a show with those two in development. So, and you'll see Doctor Strange here. So this is a title that might be very interesting to those who just kind of enjoy the Marvel universe from film and TV. I actually really like Cloak and Dagger as characters. So they kind of, they kind of took turns having the lead story. This one has a Cloak and Dagger lead story. And the Doctor Strange was the backup feature. But it went back and forth. Sometimes it was Doctor Strange who had the lead story and Cloak and Dagger had the backup feature. It did not run very long. Both of these characters, Doctor Strange and Cloak and Dagger, have never really lit the sales charts on fire. They've always been kind of B, C-list characters. That's changing now, obviously, with the greater exposure with movies and television. So it should be interesting to see where these characters land in the next couple of years. Hopefully we'll get a Doctor Strange sequel. Hopefully Cloak and Dagger will enjoy a nice long life on television, and then we'll see where we're at. Next up, Doctor Strange again went into his own title. This one was called Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme. Here he is fighting Dormammu again in the first issue. Looks like Dormammu has the upper hand. And you can see Dormammu's in kind of the form of a man here, unlike how we saw him in the movie. So this is a really fun title. Just a couple more issues of this title, just to show you that Doctor Strange, he wasn't just like, he was sort of a grounded New York character, but he was also, more than that. He also had these galactic adventures because of his magic. Here he is side by side with the Silver Surfer in outer space. So it kind of sets the precedent for him being in the Infinity War movie, because he wasn't just Earthbound. He can travel across planes, through space. He's a rare character that kind of falls into every category of Marvel, both the grounded street-level character and the mystic, interdimensional character. And then just show you this last one from this series with a pretty cool cover. Nice, fancy, holographic foil, whatever you want to call it. This, of course, is from the 90s when they just put this crazy stuff on all the covers to get people to buy them. And then the whole market crashed. So that was fun. Okay. As far as teams, Doctor Strange has always been... This is actually a newer comic, relatively speaking. This is not from the original Defenders series, but Stephen Strange was a member of the original Defenders, which, as you'll see, was a book that featured Hulk, Namor, Silver Surfer. It also went through many incarnations. So there were a lot of other characters who kind of went on to become part of the Defenders, but Doctor Strange played a big role throughout. Then in the 90s, they came up with the new title, Secret Defenders, a very not well-received title, unfortunately. But the way this worked is every arc had different characters in it. The first one featured Doctor Strange and Wolverine and Nomad and Darkhawk and Spider-Woman, as you can see here on the cover. It didn't last very long and was not very popular. And you'll notice that the first issue has like a shiny red foil cover again. Again, this was a 90s conceit and not a very good one. Then in the 2000s, they had a Marvel Knights title, which was part of the Marvel Knights line of titles, which was kind of a more mature take on some characters. And then they came out with a team book called Marvel Knights that featured a bunch of these characters together as a team. And in this one, you can see this beautiful Joe Quesada cover. Isn't that nice? I'd like to see more covers from Joe Quesada. I really miss his art. And then after that, he joined the Avengers as part of the new Avengers that Brian Michael Bendis did for a very long time, and an excellent run. Probably some of the best writing that Brian Bendis did for comics was in these Avengers books. Very long, healthy run. So Doctor Strange was a key part of this team, and then he was spun off into something called the Illuminati, which was a secret team of like some of the oldest characters from Marvel who had these secret meetings to kind of hide the Infinity Gems that go on the Infinity Gauntlet, which we'll be seeing more of, I think, in Avengers War or Infinity War in the movies. So they all took it upon themselves to form this secret society. Each of them kind of hid one of the gems. And it kind of led to a big problem because once the other heroes found out that there was a secret sect among them who was kind of taking it upon themselves to be the protectors of these gems, it flared up. There were lots of problems. There's a new Illuminati title now, but it has nothing to do with these characters here. But Doctor Strange was amongst those brought into this secret society. And now, since the movie started, of course, we have a new Doctor Strange title, which is actually really good, by Jason Aaron, one of my favorite comic writers. Chris Bachalo, sorry, I don't really know how to say it. I've never heard it said. I only see it in writing. Is the artist. I love his art. Don't get me wrong. His art is spectacular. These covers are gorgeous. But I'm not a big fan of his interior art because I sometimes have trouble telling what's going on in the story because he's very, his art's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's not completely clear. It's more artsy. Terrible. It's the wrong word. I'm lost for the word. I apologize. There's a very good word for this. I'm sure I'll think of it and let you know. But anyways, there it is. So this is his new title. It's up to issue 17 now, I think. Jason Aaron is departing the title, which is a shame. But it's been excellent. And then most recently, he has spun off into yet another team book, Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme. And this is basically Doctor Strange teaming up with all these other magicians and sorcerers from throughout history and many dimensions. And so they all kind of team up to take on the magic, all the magic crises that kind of come up that we here in the normal world don't even know exist. But these sorcerers have to deal with on a daily basis. And I think this comic is now up to issue 5 or 6. Both of these are ongoing. So if you like the movie, head down to your comic shop, pick up some back issues, pick up some old appearances, and pick up these new ongoings. They won't last forever, and I'd love to see them keep going. All right, so that's an unboxing of Doctor Strange. I'm going to pass this back to my good friend, the Near Mint Nerd, and he'll see you out the door. Here you go, bud. Hey, thanks, pal. All right, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. I hope you have a chance to read some Doctor Strange comics. There's also another Doctor Strange movie. I can both recommend this and not recommend it. It's a TV movie from the 1970s. It is hilarious. The kind of thing I would love to see them do on Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's so bad that I think it's good. Doctor Strange, I can't remember who played him, but he had a big afro, and it was just very 70s. The music was very 70s. It's a good time at the movies. But I thought this was excellent. I'm a big fan of this movie. I've been very happy with most of the Marvel movies. There's 2 or 3 that I'm not a big fan of, but certainly the oddball characters, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, I think they do a really good job with these characters. Very thrilled. Benedict Cumberbatch was awesome. Mads Mikkelsen, terrific. Everyone in the movie was just really strong. Great performances. Tilda Swinton, wow. I mean, there was a bit of a controversy there. Totally unwarranted in my mind. I thought it was totally fine the way they played it. I understood the reasons, and she, played the crap out of that role. She was so good. Anyways, check it out for yourself. I'm sure most of you have already seen the movie. There's 3 or 4 different variations of this you can get. You don't have to get the tin. You can also get just the regular Blu-ray, or you can get the 3D Blu-ray. You can also get probably a 4K Blu-ray. Don't quote me on that because I actually didn't see that today, so I don't know if that's out yet. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Thanks so much. Take care, and I'll see you. Just make sure that you watch out because the Eye of Agamotto is always watching.